News today. A cat is stuck in a tree. Now, we're going to be covering the presidential visit. President Trump is going to be speaking over at Rockland Community College with Representative Mike Lawler today. We will have your traffic updates, which is the most important thing. Make sure everybody gets in and out safe. School budgets approved across Rockland County. We will recap. Rockland County gas sales tax cap starts on June 1st. And a whole bunch of other news. We're also going to talk about the Nyack Village's $4.5 million New York Forward Award among 9 projects. We'll have likely Nyack Village Mayor Joe Rand talking about it on this edition of AM Rockland's News, and possibly a few surprise guests. Stay tuned for a moment.
You're listening to Rockland News, available on Apple, Spotify, and online at rocklandnews.com. Thanks for joining us today. Here are your hosts, Tom Osa and Mike Kluger.
All right, well, Mike is not with us today, but we have a variety of other guests and also people on the Rockland News team that are going to be talking and being visiting the president. I'm flummoxed by this. I don't even know how to process it, but the president of the United States is going to be in town in Rockland. Yes, that's right. Yes, that's right, over at Rockland Community College. Now, I know that there are a whole bunch of feelings about this, left and right and center and far right and far left and middle of the Fibonacci sequence. We don't care whichever way that you want to think about the visit. It is cool. I want to say that for the record. And I am your host, Tom Osa. Thanks for joining us today on AM Rockland's News. Let me just change the panel over here so that everything looks really nice. And everything. Yeah, there we go. All right. It looks good with this panel up. And we're going to talk a lot about what's going on over the next 24 hours. There's just so much news to cover. And it doesn't just have to do about the presidential visit. I mean, the life goes on. So there's a lot of things that we prepare for and talk with you on AM Rockland News. We'll have a few guests today. It's going to be a short episode, but we wanted to get something out there on this kind of historic day, because quite frankly, the last time that we had a president of the United States coming to visit Rockland County was in 1976 by Gerald R. Ford. From my history degree days, I remember he was a pretty cool dude, in my opinion. And he was also an excellent steward of the United States government. So we want to thank our sponsors, the New York Boulders baseball team, Work Smart New York Business Boot Camp. We had John Katsimatidis, the owner of WABC Radio, and he spoke to our business group several weeks ago. It was held at Dominican University. We want to thank them for hosting the event. And we're going to have more Work Smart New York Business Boot Camps. Yabu Fence Company, since 1955, have been helping you with all sorts of residential, commercial, and industrial fence. You can learn more about them at yabufence.com. Family-owned business and awesome. Dana Pest Control, for all your pest control needs. Anything that you need to get out of the house, except for your relatives, you can basically go to Dana Pest Control. They can get rid of like the things that are just, that make you feel uncomfortable, that are just, you know, maybe scurrying or going up the walls or flying around like, it's really annoying. So you want to get rid of those things, and you can call Dana Pest Control to help you to remediate the inside and outside of your property. Learn more about them at danapestcontrol.com. And they have been in business since 1973, even before the presidential visit. How about that? Easy Temp for all your ice machine repairs and commercial refrigeration. They're located in Hackensack, New Jersey, but they're essentially all over the Hudson Valley. And let's say, for instance, if you have a deli or a commercial establishment where you may have to make sure that the deli cases are cool and the food is kept at the proper temperature, go to easytemp.net. Again, another family-owned business, and they can help you with that. They've been in business for several decades now. Awesome guy, Mark, that runs the thing. Shout out to Eileen, who's one of the assistants over there. We talk with them regularly. Plus, we got Fiesta Acapulco, located in Stony Point, New York. If you want some Latin American nightlife, go to Fiesta Acapulco. They're just fantastic. We've had open mic nights there. We've had comedy shows. We've had book things going on there. And it's really turning into kind of like, if you've checked into it back in the day, it used to be called the Peppermill Grill, Cahoots. Of course, the legendary Lynch's Restaurant, which is now located over at the Philip J. Rotella Golf Course. They're called Lynch's on the Green now, but Fiesta Acapulco is in Stony Point, and they are the best Latin American restaurant in all of North Rockland, hands down. Kobe Sushi with their jazz music lounge, music on Wednesdays and Saturday nights. If you mention Rockland's News, you get 15% off of your entire sushi order, minimum $75. But hey, bring someone along, sit across from them, have some sushi, listen to some jazz, and close a business deal. That's what I do. Breakpoint Bowling. Oh, and by the way, you can deduct half of the bill if you do business while you're having sushi, just as a side note. Okay, Breakpoint Bowling, located in West Haverstraw, New York. $2 million facility, recently renovated. It used to be called Lotor Bowling. Now it is High with the Breakpoint Bowling. Beautiful, beautiful facility. I think about 20 lanes, big screen TVs going from one end of the bowling lanes to the other, like just straight across, no breaks at all, ironically. Also an arcade right inside the facility for the kids, and also a laser tag area, restaurant, music. And if you mention this, and I know my barber, Joe, doesn't like this idea, but if you mention Rockland's News and you're a first-time visitor, you get a free $10 arcade gift card if you go there over this weekend, Memorial Day weekend. Okay, yeah. Oh, and there also are kosher friendly. I should mention that. Well, come one, come all. It's a great family experience, having a good time. Whole Shop Bagels, located in Haverstraw, New York. If you would like to get a free bagel, mention Rockland's News when you walk in, talk with Victoria or Clever, and they will give you a free bagel. First time visitors. But let me tell you something, there's so much more to the place. They got the best bacon, egg, and cheese in all of Rockland County. And that's why we work with them, because they really have good food over there. Stony Point Massage, Kimio Matthews. She and I spoke about a month ago, and we are really, really happy to promote her. She's a sponsor of the show, but she really is a holistic, I'm going to say, a person that she's licensed. Touch therapy and deep muscle tissue therapy are so important to helping to heal the body. And Kimio is an expert at it, and she's classically trained. And she also has a great staff in there, a beautiful place to go in, relax for a few minutes in the waiting room, nice couches, living room area, and just it's a calming experience. StonyPointMassage.com. Plus, we got the UPS store in West Haverstraw for all your business card needs, as well as promotional materials and shipping. Ivy Rehab Physical Therapy. It's all about the people in West Haverstraw, New York. Susan Bova, Coldwell Banker Realty. 99 Signs for all your digital, billboard, and portable sign needs. FZ Perfection. If you want the perfect auto body repair, go to FZ Perfection, located in Congers, New York. And Clean Space Maintenance Management Company. Get the mobile dumpster for your spring cleaning, just $199 for one day of just getting rid of stuff out, drop it in there and everything, and basically they haul it away and then they get rid of it for you, and then you get a nice clean space. CleanSpaceMMC.us. Okay, so let's get into it. This Friday afternoon, President Donald J. Trump will be visiting Suffern for an official White House event with Congressman Mike Lawler. The joint appearance will take place at the Eugene Levy Fieldhouse at the Rockland Community College campus, with the president scheduled to deliver remarks at 3 p.m. Organizers expect heightened security and potential traffic disruptions as law enforcement prepares for the high-profile visit. The event marks a rare presidential stop in Rockland County and underscores Lawler's growing prominence. I mean, the dude is, look, he's a baller, all right? And I'm just saying, and I don't even know who I'm voting for when the election comes up. But basically, the dude, I'm going to say this, all right? The dude knows how to, at very, very least, handle the press. I've been at several press conferences where he showed up. I don't want to ever celebritize anyone, based on media status. It's really about the works that you do in office. All right. And we talk about that as well. But as far as how he handles the press and everything like that, masterclass, dude. Freaking masterclass. So I don't know if Mike talking with the president saying, hey, why don't you drop by Rockland, just casually mentioning it. And yeah, and now the president is showing up at like 3 o'clock. And again, I go back to this. I have to. All right. We get it. Like we've seen the polarization of opinion as a result of various presidential administrations being in office. The only thing I could say is that, I give the same level of respect to any president of our great country. I want to say that on, the 250th anniversary is coming up and everything like that. So like, for instance, like, Biden, President Obama, of course, George W. Bush is a little bit just like, I don't know. I have a tough time. I think he said really funny things while he was in office, but I still think that the jury's out whether he made the right decisions or not. But I still obviously defer to the office. Yeah, so that's the way I'm looking at it. I'm getting a text message from someone that is going to be calling in at 9:15. It is a surprise guest. For those of you that know that I took a little business trip last week, Thursday, Friday. This is a follow-up to that, and I hope that you enjoy it if he shows up. He's a very busy individual, and it's unrelated, of course, to the visit today, but I thought I'd bring in a really cool guest if it happens. If not, that's okay. Hang on 1 minute. 9:20 p.m. Yep. I'm just setting it up. 5 p.m. Okay. All right. So that's going to work out, I think. All right. Now let's get into what you are going to be dealing with today. All right. The highest risk traffic zone is the RCC perimeter. That's Rockland Community College on College Road, Viola Road, and Spook Rock Road, Carlton Road, Route 306, Airmont Road, Highview Road, and of course, Route 59 near Suffern, Muncie. Okay. And from my days living in, of course, Suffern, it was quite the nightmare, even just getting to RCC College and Ramapo College back then. And I'm going back literally 20 years. So I can only imagine what it's going to be. Today. It's just going to be absolutely insane. So you really just want to be really smart about your travel decisions. There's going to be obviously a lot of people that are going to be going to this event in itself. But at the same time, you want to make the right travel choices in case you got to get from one place to another. And I'll give you an example at one of the networking groups that I was at yesterday. All right. We got businesses to run, man. So it's not like, we're just going to take the whole day off and like head on over if that's not in our wheelhouse and just like, watch the whole event. It's like, business still has to happen while these things are going on. And we want to shift gears just for a few moments. We will be talking about parking and highway travel going to and leaving from this event. But we have with us call in our sports live streamer that we have on Fridays. And Tom Brady, his sports performance coach training.
Yes, Tom, how you doing?
How are you, man? Good to hear from you.
Yes. Everything's going great. Yeah, it is a very exciting local day, and like you just mentioned, for businesses, I hope everybody has planned for anybody in that section of Rockland County that they can, get through the best they can with any type of traffic jam, and hopefully it doesn't hurt anybody financially in that way.
Exactly.
But but switching to the sports scene.
And one thing I should note to you, Tom, and I have to apologize about this. And for those of you that are listening, Tom is on every single Friday. He has the sports podcast and basically goes over local sports. I just want to say, out of respect, my brother, I got somebody that's calling in from New York City. It's a surprise guest. So if I have to switch, I want to apologize in advance. You're amazing at what you do. But, I owe you one. All right.
Sure. Yeah. Listen, no problem.
Yeah. All right. Hit it up, man. Go for it.
I just want to get everybody with the summer season starting. We talked about strength and conditioning last time. We talked about the respect for muscle tissue for athletes. I want to give everybody a quick health tip going into the summer. We all panic a little bit too much when it comes to the sunscreen and worrying about sunburn causing skin cancer and all that. Let's get back to, all right, the number one job of the sun is to give us vitamin D. It's
Right.
not our job to block it out. So make sure you're getting out there in the proper amount of time for whatever your skin tone is and getting the proper amount of vitamin D before you block it out.
Right.
Okay. I've seen health go downhill over the last 30 years. You can see the numbers. People's vitamin D counts are extremely low. Vitamin D is a priority for your health. It doesn't matter what issue you have in your body. Vitamin D is a priority for optimal health.
Mhm.
So again, whatever your skin tone is, you know how much time you need in the sun before the sun causes any type of skin damage to you. But do not lather up before you go out. Go out and get your vitamin D, and then whatever your time frame is, then do what you need to do. So I want to start off with that with the summertime season. Jumping into the sports scene, the last podcast I jumped on, I talked about one huge girls lacrosse matchup.
Mhm.
It was the Nyack Suffering game. Nyack did come out on top. I was telling everybody, yeah, they had a 6-4 record, but don't judge the team by their record because they lost the number 2 and 3 ranked nationally teams by 1 goal. So they did beat Suffering. They got the number 1 ranking going into the postseason, the local postseason. So we're going to keep you updated on that going forward.
Nice.
On the other end, we're going to talk about what I touched on last time. Out of Orangeburg, the Rockland GAA, the Gaelic Athletic Association, and the FALA, the girls all-star football team that is traveling over to Ireland at the end of June. We are now 1 month away. The girls are training hard. They practice twice a week with some type of match practice or team event, usually on the weekends. They've run 2 5Ks as a team. This coming weekend, they're going to be doing a bike-a-thon as a team. They're training hard. The camaraderie is coming together. On the next podcast in about 2 weeks, I'm going to have interviews with all the coaches and trainers, people who put the team together, and what their expectations are and how excited they are going forward when we go over to Ireland. And then, of course, in Ireland, I'll be giving everybody a live update to what's going on because I will be there with my daughter being on the team. So, that, all good stuff, exciting stuff moving forward.
Awesome. How's everything else going?
Yeah, going great. It's the summertime season where sports are winding down for the high school kids. We're talking about summer camps. We're talking about what kids need to do to be active. Parents are always looking. There are always programs that you can put your kids in that are not just the structured day camp. So there are more structured camps out there. If you need help finding one, you want your kid in a little bit more active or physical camp, email me, strengthcoachtjb@gmail.com. There are options for you, no matter what part of the county you live in. So if you're looking for your kid to take that next level, and I'm not even talking about next level as an athlete, if you're looking just for better conditioning for your child, by all means, get a hold of me. I can definitely point you in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And you are a man on the go, I have to say. And I am not a morning person. I just want to say that for the record. Sometimes like if I had a choice, I would wake up at probably 11:30, but that's not the world that we live in, right? But it's next level with you, man. Like sometimes when I talk about you, it's like this dude can outlast me in energy. Just I can imagine. Like I think that like at about 4:30 in the morning, that's when the birds get up. Is when they know that Tom Brady is just like getting up. They're just like, all right, he's up. We got to be up. So you're the trendsetter on that. I defer that to you as well.
Well, I always say somebody's got to wake up the rooster.
Exactly.
So the rooster's waking us up. Who's waking up the rooster? So,
yeah.
Somebody's got to have that job.
Amen to that. Exactly. Has that always been a thing? Like, have you always generally woken up early, or is it something that you just kind of got into? I know that obviously, you're a father. There's certain necessities that come with that. Have you always been an early morning riser?
I'm actually very lucky. I have always been a morning person.
That
You
is
know, I
lucky.
was, when I was younger, I didn't like it because when my friends would sleep to noon, here I am bored out of my skull, riding my bike around my neighborhood with nobody around at 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning during the summer.
Right.
However, it's a huge asset as an adult, being a morning person.
Hmm.
And, like you said, whether it's with kids, whether it's with work, whether it's be able just to get up and go, I'm very, very happy. I've had I was blessed with that gift. I know people, like you said, people who are morning people and people who just aren't. And that's just a fact of life. And I was born a morning person. So doing all this, as to some people, it might seem, wow, this is crazy and really hard. For me, that is natural. So I just built my life into what I was given.
Sorry, we're having fun with the new soundboard. Actually, John Sandak, who, yeah, I know, it's like we got the new soundboard. We're effing around with it, but we both know John Sandak, and he's like when I tell him something like that, he would say in response, "Very proud of you." Like Jerky Boys back in the day.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
fun.
John, great guy there. Definitely, John.
Yeah, he's an awesome
So
dude.
hopefully he's listening now. He usually pops in,
Yeah,
so hello, John, if you're out there listening.
yeah, man. So that's very cool. Well, Tom Brady, thank you for, and I apologize for reducing the amount of time for your segment, but you're actually also going to be helping out today, perhaps later on. And I just want to say I appreciate you. It's been great working with you for the last 2 months, and I look forward to many, many, not just more sports reports, but just letting us know what's going on in Rockland. So whenever you're on, I'm going to aim to make sure that the floor is yours.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate everything, and it's just been a pleasure being part of the team.
Awesome, brother. All right. Well, Tom Brady from TJB Sports Performance Coaching. And if you need to get a hold of him, we're going to put some information out on Rockland News later on. I don't have his email address right in front of him. I should have asked him that. But you're going to be able to hear a lot more of Tom over the next several months because he was the person that brought in the whole sports podcast thing. I don't know anything about sports. I mean, I was on the tennis team when I was in high school and college. I really enjoyed that. I was also enjoying, I wasn't enjoying it, but I was on the track team in my freshman year in high school. And I remember I wasn't good at running. It was like, there were two races that I did that stand out in my memory. The first one is I placed 88th out of 89 runners. And the 89th one threw up. So I don't even know if that even counts. But yeah, and then another one, I actually got lost in the hills. Like my track team, it was a high school thing. Track team at Albertus, we go to like this cool park wherever, and it's got hills and everything. And the rest of the group ran so far ahead of me that like I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna run like Forrest Gump, just run straight ahead. Unfortunately, that premise didn't work very well because I got lost in the hills and they had to send out a search party for me. I'm not kidding. So yeah, there were some things that happened over the course of time, which I'm working on my third book. It's called Improvise, Adapt, Overcome. The 1, 2, 3 process for personal and professional success. One of those things has to do with when you have to improvise being lost in the hills. The number one thing that you should be doing is saying, "Hey, anybody out there that can help me right now?" So we do that from time to time, but it's a living. Otherwise, we're doing okay. And thank you for help from my friends that have gotten me through some very interesting times and so on and so forth. Robert Joasis, our reporter that was on Monday, and thank you, Robert, for your question. He said, "Are you going to RCC to see the president?" And the answer is no. Yes, the answer is no. I am actually not going to the presidential event today, and it has nothing to do with my politics. It actually has to do with I had planned on going to a funeral for a friend who lost his mother. And I really thought about this. I'm like, when's the last time that a president was in the area? It was 76. This might be like a once in a lifetime experience, blah, blah, blah. But the truth of the matter is like, you know, and I'm sure we have, and Tom Brady and a whole bunch of reporters that we have at Rockland's News are going to be at the event today. So Rockland's News is going to recap everything and do the thing. Our job is to report, and that is what we will do. However, I'm not going to personally be there because honestly, I think the more important thing is to be there for the people that we care about. And friends are a very important thing to me. Damn the torpedoes. Friends are more important. And of course, family. So that is what's going to be happening. But that doesn't mean that the show must not go on. And we are going to continue to have that show. We're going to have a special guest in a few moments, and just hang tight. It seems like it's going to be happening. So, and I just have to send out one more text message, and just hang on one moment. I'm just going to just grab this link, and I'm going to send it out to our group today, because we have a group that we're building on WhatsApp, FYI. So yeah, and we're trying to bring back like the talk radio thing in Rockland. Since WRCR was gone, quite frankly, there's been a bit of a divide, and it's kind of troubling. When WRCR was on, and I had an office with them when they were over at Clover Stadium. I talk about this often on the show. And, you know, I got to learn the radio business. We were just doing the web development for them. We hosted their website for 10 years. It was cool. But it turned out that when the Boulders essentially told WRCR Radio, hey, we need our space back because we want to do batting cages in the back of the stadium, they basically moved the entire operation over to Garnerville. And it kind of went downhill from there. I don't want to damn them or knock them or anything like that, but the owner did it on a budget. There's no two ways about it. I mean, the air conditioning was not working sometimes. It was just the studio was stuffy. The equipment was analog. And quite frankly, you know, it's what it is, you know, and I don't blame him. I mean, look, everybody's got to make very tough business decisions, and sometimes they are unfavorable business decisions. If he felt that that was right, that's fine. But the thing that bothers me is that when all of the podcasters and the live streamers, and it was starting to build up under the podcast premise, the one that you're tuning into right now, is the podcasting and the live streaming. Basically, he ended up selling the frequency. All right. And the frequency actually ended up in the hands of WABC Radio, which is kind of cool. All right. So all that is good. But the thing that bothers me is all of that content, the content that was originally under the ownership of WRCR Radio. I am hoping, and I'm saying this for the record, I am hoping that WABC is able to grab that content, because I know where it was. It was on 2 computers in the main room. Thousands and thousands an hour of content, MP3 files. And I think of it as history. You know, there's the written text, but there's also the audio text, the oral history. And if you think about it, that came before we even as humans had the ability to write, passing down stories from generation to generation. So, and I think maybe unconsciously as I'm talking with you today, that's probably one of the reasons why we went into the live streaming and podcasting approximately 5 years ago. So there's a lot that goes into this. I feel like we're chronicling the history of Rockland, especially on a day like today, where the president is visiting. It's just amazing. And we have a special guest that is hopping on the show right now. I would like to introduce into the Rockland's News Morning Show, John Katsimatidis, the owner of Red Apple Media Group, as well as WABC Radio. John, thank you for joining us on Rockland News today.
Of an accident, and you know, how do you say, things happen.
It does.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. And I was just talking about this. It's just me on the air today. Mike is out in the field. He's going to be covering the presidential event over at the college today. But I was just talking about the traffic is just wild around here.
Well, let me tell you something. Anytime the president of the United States come in, about hundreds of Secret Service guys come in, hundreds of FBI and or DEA and all the federal authorities come in because he is the most important person in the world right now. And the way President Trump goes is the way the free world goes. Whether you like him or you don't like him, the fact is that you know. He saved the free world. I mean, the free world would not be free if Kamala Harris became president. Iran would have the nuclear bomb.
Yep.
And if Iran was crazy enough to pay each Hamas family $20,000 for 10,000 kids to go in and kill,
Exactly.
maim, rape, pillar Israelis. I mean, it's not the Hamas that was at fault. They took $20,000 for their families that were starving. If you have 14 children in a Hamas family, and they say, well, take our eldest child and thank you for the $20,000 to feed our other children.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but the guilty party is the Iranians that paid the money to do damage.
Right.
The Hamas families were hungry.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, stuff like that is happening for years. So we need peace in the world. I was hoping that we have better results from the meeting in China. The meeting, and then the day after President Trump left China, Putin went to China to meet with President Xi.
They worked on a deal too. Yeah.
The three biggest people in the world, military-wise, is the United States, which is number one. President Trump has made us number one.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody that can compete.
Indeed.
The United States of America, China, and Russia is number three, far in the back.
Right.
And the joke I tell on radio is after the war is over in Hormuz, the French send their only aircraft carrier there to help. after the war is over.
That bothered me. I have to say, if I may, John, that really bothered me that we went in as the tip of the spear, and I was watching the maps, the charts of when the Marine carrier was going to be pulling into the Strait of Hormuz. And it's a message. And, our president basically went to Europe, and there's terrorism that is funded by Iran all over the world. And it's disgusting. It's disgusting. For the record, I feel that way. And he asks for help and they don't show up. Like, what are we doing with NATO? Like, what are we doing? Like, they're supposed to be helping as well.
I know Marco Rubio is addressing the NATO countries right now.
Okay.
But he's doing it today. But NATO would not be NATO without the United States of America.
100%.
And why are they so stupid? I don't understand. Yesterday, President Trump, I talked to him yesterday morning. He called me. Cool. And he's going to be in Rockland today. Yesterday, he... I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, he was. I remember he was going to be showing up here at 3. But yesterday, you and he talked with each other, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We spoke about 11:45. One of the items we talked about was AM radio because some of the people were for General Motors, with a little bit of a low culture. They only lost $20 billion on EVs. They only lost $20 billion for their show.
The numbers, yep.
Though they want to get rid of AM radio, which is part of FEMA, which is part of the
emergency broadcast too.
The emergency broadcasting system.
Yeah.
And I applaud that His Royal Highness King Charles came over.
I saw the video you sent. That was cool.
Yes, I was with him. And I sent him some new ties because he likes the tie I was wearing.
Cool.
King Charles and President Trump got along fabulously. And when he got back, the British people sided with King Charles, and that woke culture socialist prime minister. Well, he's on his way out.
Interesting. Okay.
And you know how the British used to sail the seven seas. They used to have 50 destroyers, aircraft carriers. You know what they're down to?
5.
17. 17.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
diminishment of power.
Look, I just, by the way, a big announcement today. I had another grandson last night.
Oh, congratulations!
At 12:35 in the morning, and his name is Andreas, after my father, and Angelo, after the mother's grandfather. So
wow.
It's after both grandfathers, Andreas, Angelo, Catsimatidis, and the grandfather Angelo was Sicilian from the Bronx originally, and originally from Sicily, and my father is from the island of Nicetos, Greek.
Yes, that's right. I read your book.
It's a merger of Greeks and Italians and Sicilians.
Well, I have to say, may your child be a masculine one.
I hope.
I don't want to end up like Luca Brasi, but I hope. You know what I'm saying?
I hope. And the president is going to be there at 3:00 this afternoon. And I know a lot of people are coming up there because, the big item that Governor Hochul passed yesterday. You ready for this one? That New York State, the Assembly and the State Senate, and looks like the governor is going to sign it, that we should not cooperate with ICE. I mean, listen, the president has declared already, because he got rid of that other Homeland Security person. I forget her name. Noam.
Oh, yeah. She's on vacation right now, I heard.
Why? Because a long vacation. And because the president's original edict is, let's get rid of the bad criminals. If Venezuela closed their jails and send us our criminals, the murderers, the drug dealers, the rapists, get rid of them tomorrow morning. Send them to Guantanamo. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Yeah, there's certain people that are evil that should not be out in general public.
The people that are busboys and waiters and construction workers and nannies, take it easy on them.
Right. Yes, exactly.
And that's what I believe in, and that's what I discussed with President Trump before the election. And he was at the New York Economic Club, and he went along with what I said. He doesn't listen all the time. He's the president. He has to make up his own mind.
Well,
By the way, I want to thank.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I want to thank whoever gave Jimmy Owens the message, and I was talking about him because Jimmy called me.
Yeah. Okay, great. That's awesome. And, if I can mention this based on what you said, I read all of Donald's books, if I may say the word Donald. All right. I read his books, Think Like a Champion, The Art of the Deal, The Art of the Comeback, The Art of Staying on Top is a great 3-part series. But I remember that, when he was first starting the campaign, and obviously these things are planned in decades time. I get it. Right. But what I remember
I'm not sure. I think he plans it for today for tomorrow.
Well, that's fine. I think he records things that did not work out, and then the next iteration, the next generation of what he's doing, he fires people and then brings in better people the second time and the third time. That seems like strong business sense there. I'm taking a guess.
He's got the courage to say, "You're fired."
Yeah, and it's not easy, but you got to do it.
And he's not easy, but you have to do it sometimes. And he's got a pretty good crew there. Marco Rubio is excellent.
Yeah.
Lee Zeldin is excellent. Dr. Oz is excellent.
Yeah.
Secretary Kennedy is going to save our lives. I think I might have Dr. Oz on my show this Sunday morning.
That's cool.
He told me he wants to come on.
And you have the Cats Roundtable every Sunday morning.
Yes, and Katz and Cosby every day at 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock. And So what do we want to accomplish? We want to accomplish, we want a better life for our kids and our grandkids. So I got 2 grandkids now, so we want a better life for them. Because I say it again, Kamala Harris had no clue. And Joe Biden, I'm not going to blame him. I know Joe Biden for 40 years. 10 years ago, Joe Biden was Joe Biden.
Right.
The last 4 years, he was not the same Joe Biden.
Yeah, it seemed like him being in office was more of like an anointing than an election.
Yes, it was anointed by whoever anointed him. But the people that worked around him, that were making the real decisions, because somebody has to go to jail. Because they didn't disclose that he was incompetent. They didn't disclose that he wasn't capable of making real decisions. Until somebody goes to jail, the Washington swamp is not going to be fixed. And the other thing, I want Democrats and Republicans to be just like the old days. They sit around the table and make decisions, what's good for New York, what's good for America, what's good for the world. Just like Ronald Reagan did with Tip O'Neill, just like Newt Gingrich did with Bill Clinton. We want common sense to prevail.
Yeah.
And the only way the Democrats is going to learn a lesson, how? That 1984, when Ronald Reagan ran, Ronald Reagan ran 49 states. So I look for the next election for the Democrats to lose 49 states so they can get rid of the Democratic Socialists. The Democratic Socialists took over the Democratic Party.
Yeah, and I'll get into my objective point of view. I think we have a same thought process.
And I'm still a Bill Clinton Democrat. Yeah, and I'm going to his birthday party. I think it's the week after.
Yeah, plays great saxophone too. My father used to play saxophone, so I always and I vote across the aisle, back and forth. Whatever, in my opinion, sir. Whatever is good for the country. That's the way I look at it.
Yes, whatever's good for the country, I agree 110%.
Yeah. John Catsimatidis, owner of Red Apple Media Group, WABC Radio. And also, last thing, I just want to thank you. We've had a few conversations. First of all, I appreciate you, checking in on Rockland News. We appreciate it. But you made a $12 million bet on the future of AM radio. We know our place in the world. We're not here for emergency broadcasting. So it's comforting to know that the AM 1700 frequency is in good hands. So we appreciate you. I just want to say that for the record.
Well, thank you so much. And any comments you guys have, I'm only one text away.
Yeah.
I'm
not giving out your number. I'm not giving out your number.
Email. Let them text you first and then you text me.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Email, I don't read till once a day. Text, I read every 5 minutes.
Cool. All right. And I'll communicate with your office. You got a great team over there. I got to visit WABC last week. So thanks. And, we'll talk again. And thanks for taking the time. I know you're very busy.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Cool. John Catsimatidis from WABC Radio. Wow, that was wild. And listen, I just want to say this for the record. All right. And, obviously, me and Mr. Catsimatidis are talking and everything like that. And I want to say this, I am not trying to get into his pocket. Rockland News is not trying to get into his pocket. I mean that for the record. Okay. I also know that probably based on a few things that we were bantering back and forth about, you might not agree with what I'm saying with said individual. That doesn't mean that I don't respect your opinion. If it's different, that is cool. As long as we're peaceful and it's opinion. Okay. So I don't bat 1,000. Nobody bats 1,000. Okay. The president of the United States doesn't bat 1,000. Okay. John Catsimatidis doesn't bat 1,000. The only thing that we can do in our life is aim to do better. All right. And to that note, I would like to mention Mr. Catsimatidis' book. It's called How Far Do You Want to Go? Lessons from a Common Sense Billionaire. Now, I read this and, not going to get into the, how I basically got the opportunity to speak with the WABC team. We put the word out there and we got word back. So, we're talking and doing this, that, and the other. but I decided that I wanted to speed read John's book. And it's really good from the premise of a person that really didn't have much growing up. He had a good uh, mother and father. His mother really cared about him. I have to say, definitely. And you'll read that in the first few chapters, like his early life growing up. But middle class family, first, second generation immigrants over to the country and making it in the supermarket business, one stocked shelf at a time. And fast forward 40, 50 years, you got Gristides, D'Agostino's. He's also into real estate investing, energy. He loves flying, by the way. He's really into flying. He had an airline for a while. And of course, he owns WABC Radio. So he's a very folksy kind of guy that I really enjoy talking with. And again, I I think he might be on the show from time to time here. I don't know. But I want you to please, those of you that are listening, at very least, just tune in just for hearing differing points of view, because social just hasn't ever done it for me the way that talking with someone does. And I know that there's more people than myself that feel that way. Does anybody ever go on to social and they're just like, I just no, it's a toxic environment. Okay. And some people like it and some people feel good. I don't like staring into my phone anymore. I just don't. It just, I don't know. Anyway. So, but we do have a really, really big day coming ahead. I'm going to be hopping off shortly. I have to apologize to Nyack Village Mayor Joe Rand. He was going to be on today, and he was going to be talking about, I'm just going down to that item over here on the list, Nyack sharing the $4.5 million New York Forward Award among 9 projects in Nyack. So we are going to have him on once again. But I just want to note that I apologize to him. This is the opportunity to have John. And again, he does have a stake in Rocklands now because WABC Radio now owns AM 1700. Rockland News is obviously not set up for emergency broadcasting, but it seems like it's under the proper stewardship. And that's the way it should be. Just in case something happens, we have to be able to get the word out. And we're learning in this industry as we go. We've only been doing this for about 5 years. I do have a web development team and firm that is doing awesome at what they do, and they're growing us every day. Thank you guys to what you do. We want to thank our sponsors once again. We got the New York Boulders baseball team. Their 15th annual season is coming up. It's already in progress. You could go to nyboulders.com to pick up tickets. And for those of you that enjoy sports, we have Tom Brady, who's our sports live streamer. He was on earlier today, and we did have to cut his segment short, but Tom Brady has a segment every Friday on Rockland's News. So Work Smart New York Business Boot Camp, Yabu Fence Company, Dana Pest Control, Easy Temp, located in Hackensack, New Jersey, for all your ice machine repairs, Fiesta Acapulco, Kobe Sushi, Breakpoint Bowling, Whole Shot Bagels, Stony Point Massage, UPS Store in West Haverstraw for all your business card needs. They do business cards really, really well, I have to say that. And we also have Proforma Corporate Systems. They do great promotional and print products. And I would, this is a little bit of a gripe, but UPS Store's business cards are better than Shelland Printing's, just saying. Ivy Rehab Physical Therapy, West Hav. It's because the bleed lines that I got back from Shelland Printing, they were off. And also, they're kind of rude over there. So UPS Store in West Haverstraw. And I'll go to court to say that if I have to. Ivy Rehab Physical Therapy, West Haverstraw, New York. Susan Bova, Coldwell Banker Realty. 99 signs for all your digital, portable, and billboard sign needs. FZ Perfection Auto Body Repair, Congers, New York, and Clean Space Maintenance Management Company. We also want to give a huge shout out to the Flowery, the cannabis shop right down the road from here. Going to be doing some stuff over there. Stay tuned. District 96, Noble Experiment, Roundtable Brewing, Stony Point Brewing Company, Red Barn Cidery, and Van Houten's. And finally, a shout out to the Stony Point Pancake Factory with their new menu. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be posting this. They have a new menu over at Stony Point Pancake Factory. You can check it out, stonypointpancakefactory.com. Lauren Molino Muller, Howard Hanna Rand Realty, North Rockland Chiropractic, Dr. Anna Marie, Sparkling Clean Homes, Banchetto Restaurant, and I would be behest to not mention Rockland Music Fest. And stay tuned for some announcements after this whole shindig that happens this weekend. So again, the big story is Trump is going to be speaking at Rockland Community College with Representative Mike Lawler today at 3 o'clock. I want to give you the traffic advisory once again. It's going to be at Rockland Community College, Eugene Levy Fieldhouse in Suffern. The event is scheduled for 3 o'clock. The doors open at 11 a.m. If you want to be like Best Buy on Thanksgiving midnight, get there before 11 a.m. because, it's not going to be like a frenzy, but it's everybody just be safe and just note that this is not a mosh pit. Okay. For all of you that are like, all right, this is not a mosh pit. Okay. You're going to be informed, probably entertained. I don't know. But if you're going, just regard your neighbor, walk in calmly, leave calmly, and listen calmly, whatever the heck. And, also have a discerning opinion. Like I said before, nobody's perfect. Nobody bats 1,000. Okay. Go get informed and go about your day. But the more important thing for those of you that are not going to the rally is the traffic. It's going to be, Crazy Eddie would call it, insane. Highest risk traffic zone is the RCC perimeter, College Road, Viola Road, Spook Rock Road, Carlton Road, Route 306. Oh, that never has traffic. What are you talking about? Airmont Road and Highview Road, and Route 59 near Suffern, Muncie. All right. And News 12 is reporting that the Ramapo police said that the campus is closed until 10 a.m. on Friday. So those of you that are trying to get there earlier than 10 a.m., don't. So you got a few minutes, just keep the traffic moving along, ladies and gentlemen. College Road between Viola Road and Carlton Road will close to drivers and pedestrians after noon until authorities reopen it. Parking is absolutely going to be a major issue. Police said that there will be no parking on Viola Road, College Road, Spook Rock Road, or on the side streets. Now, I know from going to, rock concerts, not too many political events, but I know that the side streets are always like a hidden gem. Not this time, okay? You might be doing a pilgrimage, finding like the road that you have a random spot open, maybe a mile or two away. Now think through this for a minute. All right. If you're going, you might have to travel a little bit. You might have to be hiking. All right. So be careful. I am very familiar with College Road and the posted side streets around there. And there are no walkways in some areas. Don't be a hero. I'm telling you this as a person that lost his dad when I was 12 years old and he got hit by a car. Do not be a hero, okay? Move further the F over on the side of the road, all right? And watch your surroundings. I cannot emphasize that enough. Watch your effing surroundings both ways. Don't put your podcast little thing. I'm sorry, I'm an old 50-year-old. Don't put your earbuds in and walk for miles and not even recognize that there's cars swooping by you, okay? An accident can happen, and I'm begging you, please just be freaking safe. I mean that. VIP passes do not include VIP parking, by the way, okay? So there's a differentiation. I think the VIP is like the Secret Service. I don't know. Once RCC parking reaches capacity, campus access is expected to shut down again. For highway travel, you want to avoid relying on New York State Thruway I-87, I-287 exit 14B at Airmont, Route 59 through Suffern, Muncie, and the Palisades Interstate Parkway connection to the Thruway. You want to factor that in as well. So if you're traveling right now and you're listening to this, you're probably in traffic. We tried to get this out to as many people as possible. On the flip side of this, okay, so the event is going to happen at 3 o'clock. And you want to imagine that by 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, you're going to expect some traffic coming out of there. But there's another, if you will, choke point is there's a Jewish holiday tonight, Shabbos. Shavuot begins Thursday, May 21st at sunset and ends Saturday, May 23rd at nightfall in the diaspora. Friday, May 22nd is Shavuot 1. And Chabad did I say that right? Chabad notes that work is not permitted. I'm not Jewish. I'm Italian, Colombian, and a little bit of English. So hopefully I got my going. Many observant Jewish residents will not be driving, using phones, or receiving digital traffic alerts. Something to note, while pedestrian traffic around shuls and homes may increase in Muncie, Spring Valley, Airmont, Kaiser, New Square, and nearby neighborhoods. That means residents should share detour and closure information before sunset on Thursday where possible. So hopefully that happens. And drivers should use extra caution around pedestrians on Friday. Visitors should avoid cutting through residential Muncie area side street. That was actually because I'm looking at my phone and then looking at the text as well. Got another text message coming in. We need the producer on days like this. Unfortunately, the producer is not. Everybody's on vacation except me. It's unbelievable. But because of the holiday and because police may post additional no parking or closure signs, just everybody, like I said, be safe. Anyone not attending the event should avoid the Muncie Suffern RCC corridor. Okay, it's 9:55. I think we're going to end there. I will thank the many sponsors that support this show. I should also note that when we're not live streaming, you can also catch us at rocklandsnews.com for all of the news that matters to you most in Rockland County. It's rocklandnews.com. No paywall, no paper, just the facts. Should probably send a fax to everybody at some point. Do we use fax machines anymore? I don't know. Okay, we don't. All right. Anyway, so we had an interesting morning. It's apparently going to get more interesting as we move along in the day. And that should be it. I actually, like I said earlier today, I'm not going to be at the presidential event. I do unfortunately have to pay my respects to a friend's mom who passed away and made the command decision to do that instead of going to the event. Rockland News will have coverage over there. So we're not going to take video. We decided, look, where are you going to get your video right now? You're going to go to Rockland News, or you're going to go to News 12 or watch it on TV or anything. We're just going to report on what happened. So we're going to gather the audio from the event. We'll probably share some stuff from News 12 or from LoHUD, whichever one we like at the moment. And we'll share that on our Rocklands News Facebook page so that you can get the information no matter whether it's us or the other. I remember Miracle on 34th Street back in the day, the Kris Kringle effect. And it was kind of like the secret sauce with my web design business, Rockland Web, which is 19 years old. Congratulations to my team for doing that. But I remember, Kris Kringle, it was like operating as Santa Claus. Kid comes up to him and says, "I want the Hess truck." And dude's like, "Nah, man, we don't have that. But check it out. There's also a Hess truck over at Gimbals. So you can, and let the mom know." And they went over to Gimbals and they got the truck. The mom comes back the next day and she's like, and she tells Chris, she's like, that was a really cool thing you did. And guess what? We're going to be shopping at Macy's from now on. And that was the secret sauce to Rockland Web Design. The secret sauce over at Rockland News is making sure that everybody's included in this process as we grow. And process leads to progress. Oh, I got to write that down. But anyway, that's enough about me. Let's get the heck out of there, out of here. We hope you have a great rest of the day. We appreciate everyone that has been tuning in. And also, please spread the word about this small news organization. I feel like this is kind of like a watershed day, and it's really interesting. History is being made in Rockland County today. Remember, the last presidential visit was in 1976 by Gerald Ford, and he had some remarks in New City about that. Special thanks, I believe, to the Muncie Scoop that wrote a great historical article about that, and I was interested in it. So you can check that out at the Muncie Scoop. So anyway, I think that's it. It's 9:59. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Again, be safe, and we'll catch you next time on Rockland News.
You're listening to Rockland News, available on Apple, Spotify, and online at rocklandnews.com. Thanks for joining us today. Here is your host, Tom Osa.
I love it when she says that. I just do. She's got like a voice from heaven or something like that. And to my wife, you have more of a voice from heaven. I want to say that for the record. Okay, New York Bulgers baseball team, thank you for sponsoring us. Work Smart New York Business Boot Camp, Yabu Fence Company, Dana Pest Control, Easy Temp, Fiesta Acapulco, Kobe Sushi with their Jazz Music Lounge. Music on Wednesdays and Saturday nights. Mention Rockland News and get 15% off of your entire sushi order. Minimum $75. Breakpoint Bowling, Whole Shot Bagels, Stony Point Massage, UPS Store in West Haverstraw. Great business cards. Ivy Rehab Physical Therapy, Susan Bova, 99 Signs FC Perfection, Clean Space Maintenance Management Company. Everybody be safe out there. Catch you next time.